Work Sports. We back at it again. You know, it's the weekend, so yeah, I'm technically really off of work right now. And I said I would get into detail for the Brooklyn Nets and the Atlanta Hawks trade. Again, the main players, I won't get into draft picks yet. Alan Crabb from the Brooklyn Nets goes over to the Hawks for Taurean Prince, a young talent for the Hawks who actually had a good season. I like the trade for the Nets on that side of it. I think that Prince is a great off-the-bench prospect who's going to pay dividends. Crabb was a scorer from Portland, had one pretty good year, looked like a good sixth man, on the running for sixth man of the year. He's sporadic at best, but let's see if he can rejuvenate himself with the Atlanta Hawks. Now, let's get into the details that I really, really care about. Sorry to say that. I do care about the players. I think, again, they will be fruitful for both of their teams. I think Prince will be immediate impact. But Alan Crabb and the number 17 pick, along with a 2020 first-round pick, goes over to the Atlanta Hawks. Flexibility, building, right? This is what the Atlanta Hawks are about right now. They have that now, right? They continue to add assets. I'm telling you, they are trust the process South. And this draft, with the players that they had, can be very, very prove a lot of dividends, and they may turn around maybe in 2021 and be a playoff team, most definitely, with the assets, depending on how fast they develop. Now, on the Brooklyn Nets side, again, Taurean Prince, great pickup, great off-the-bench player they can add in there. Maybe Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. Maybe they let him go, maybe not. We'll see. I thought he was a good asset a couple years back. But, however, they get 2021 second-round pick, so something's there, right? They feel they're going to be a playoff team. So if I'm a playoff team, no offense, you can always add a first rounder, but second rounders are the guys who are, Fred VanVleet types that come off the bench. So it makes sense. You see what they're doing. They're preparing for something, right? So now we look at the numbers, right? What the hell's going on? We look at the numbers. I'm getting too in depth, but hey, might as well look at it and understand it. It's cap space, right? Active roster cap is $33 million, okay? Total cap, $116 million. All right. See that? 116 versus the 33? $69 million to play with, technically. Okay? $69 million to play with. All right. When all that math, but no, don't do the minus total cap minus active roster. I'm just giving you that so you can see that variance. Because you have to take in the dead weight. If you guys want to laugh, who's a dead weight? They're still paying Deron Williams. Hey, man, you gotta love it. I think Agent Zero, Gilbert Arenas is still getting paid too. So they're putting their hands in my face saying, "Hey, I made more money than you sleeping," literally. Let's go over to the Atlanta Hawks. Not that this matters for them. So $69 million cap space. Let's continue on with that effort. What does that mean? You know what it means, right? Free agent tracker. Who's available? Kevin Durant, right? Kevin Durant. Remember, that's the yearly amount that they're going to have. So $30 million, right? 30, 35. That's kind of what the pay is. 30, 35 million for your big guns. So for $70 million, almost, you could probably sign 2 max guys, right? Who would be the other guy? Carmelo Anthony? No, I'm joking. Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving at 27 years old. Remember the age. Can they get Irving? $35 million a year. What are new contracts? He probably do 5. He's 27. Does he re-up? Or does he get a contract for a lifetime? Let me see. 37, 35. Come on, baby. 35 times 7. I think he has to be in $300 million range. They may extend that. They may be looking at 35, 32 and 35 for these guys and have a little bit of space for somebody else. They have the room now. All right. Kevin Durant is 31 years old. I didn't realize that. So he's also getting older, folks. He's also getting older. Keep that in the back of your mind. This has to be a win now situation. That's why they can't wait for the young guys. It has to be a win now. So I made an argument that the Knicks have a better lineup from a talent perspective. I think from a win now perspective, I don't think they're going to win a championship. definitely the Brooklyn Nets, as we look at their roster, they have the stronger lineup. So I'm at their team page. They've added, they again, Allen Crabbe is gone. Again, look at this. DeMar Carroll, does he re-sign? Does he come back? Ed Davis as their backup. Spencer Dinwiddie is one of the key contributors for this team, unsung hero. He's really the key that got him over the Philadelphia 76ers, in my opinion, when he was hot. They got the old vet and Jared Dudley. Travion Graham didn't see play too much. Joe Harris is a sharpshooter, the sniper. Rodney Hollis Jefferson was I don't want to say Dinwiddie, but he kind of played the Karis LeVert role. He was a very, very strong player. But I don't know, he just made an injury and a setback, but he's a tremendous player. I wonder how he ends up. He's kind of like what's his name? T. Young from the Indiana Pacers, but at a smaller size, 6'7", but he plays that power forward, small forward role, even at his small 6'7" stature. Cruz plays some Divison, great defensive player. Jarabenko type of player. Jonas Jarabenko, I always mess with the names with Europeans, so I apologize. Then we got the star and Karis LeVert. You add in D'Angelo Russell. You know, that's where you see the cap space get a little bit squeaky. Can they sign on 3? You know, they can move the contracts and the yearly amounts around and make it happen possibly. And then you would have a very strong team if you can keep these two players, Karis LeVert, D'Angelo Russell, and you're gonna have to keep Spencer Dinwiddie. I think he's a key contributor. But you gotta remind yourself, this team played as a team, and as many pieces as you lose, as many energy shots that you lose as well, because these guys, you know, D'Angelo Russell, Karis LeVert, didn't get there by themselves. Spencer Dinwiddie, it was a team effort. So all these other guys play their little role in there. But those are the big 3 that we know about: Russell, LeVert, and Spencer Dinwiddie as the key factors. You add in maybe a Kyrie Irving and a Kevin Durant, and then now you can look at it, guys. You can rant me all you want. You can say, hey, man, what the hell are you talking about with the Knicks? Knicks don't have better talent. But look at that. You got LeVert, okay, who I think, you know, it appears, I mean, these Michigan guys, you know, a Big Ten, you know, Victor Oladipo had a similar outcoming. I didn't see Karis LeVert becoming a star, no offense, all right? I thought Glenn Robinson out of Michigan would have become a bigger star than Karis LeVert, but, you know, things happen. But he's a star in the league. He's a potential all-star. I don't know. I think he maxes out at Chris Middleton, you know. But that's a wrong comparison because Karis LeVert can drive. So I don't know. Maybe he's a taller, less athletic Victor Oladipo, which is a super all-star in this league. So we'll see what happens, and that's what kind of more so what he reminds me of. But if you got Karis, where do you play KD? And that's my argument to all the Knicks fans all the Brooklyn Nets fans. Where are you gonna play KD at? Because he's listed as a guard, but I think he plays like a small forward, and Joe Harris is at the guard. So, and we're going to play Kyrie Irving. Is it Kyrie, D'Angelo, LeVert, Kevin Durant, and Jared Allen? I mean, you see where I'm going here? So, and let me move over to the other side, right? So, again, we're all talking about the trades, right? Brooklyn Nets are a win now mode. So I got to talk about them first. Versus the big trade. Where's Kyrie and Durant going? You go to the Knicks. It's quite easy to see. Let's jump over to the next page. Look at this move. Okay. Henry Ellison is a super talent. Neg me if you want. This guy is a super glue guy if given the opportunity. They have assets. Damian Dotson has turned into a great off-the-bench scorer. Can they re-sign DeAndre Jordan? Look at the roster, guys. The talent is there. Mario Hezonja, I would re-sign him. I like that big guard lineup. I loved it. Him as Scottie Pippen bringing a ball up the court. A la Ben Simmons, but he'll shoot it. Okay? Doesn't have the vision of Ben Simmons. Well, I don't know if he does. We'll see. Emmanuel Mudiay can be a great off-the-bench point guard. Defensive point guard. He's big and tall. Can play both roles. I like this. Right? You got an asset of Nicotina that you can trade off. Noah Vonleh is a very strong power forward. I think he still has all-star potential if given the time. Alonzo Trier is going to be a six man of the year at some point. Okay, he's a start. These 6 men of the year are starters. It's just that there's no room or no time to play them. So you call him 6 man, but really Lewis Williams is a starter. So I know some people say I'm starting. I'm gonna be a starter. You don't need to. You are a 6 man of the year. No offense, you're an all-star to me. You got Dennis Smith Jr. You got Mitchell Robinson. You see these assets, then you add on Kevin Knox. This is a team that is just waiting. You put 2 stars on this team, then you add on the 4th pick. I mean, guys, really, look at the Brooklyn Nets versus these guys. Come on, let's be serious. The talent level, the potential talent level. Okay, Karis LeVert, Kevin Knox, and Muday can make a Karis LeVert, okay? Then you got D'Angelo Russell. I go 1 for 1. D'Angelo Russell against Dennis Smith Jr., okay? Then you go, who else was on there? Spencer Dinwiddie, Alonzo Trier, Damian Johnson make up for that guy. But there's still more here. You got DeAndre Jordan. Can you re-sign him? You got Muday, right? You got Vonleh. You got Mitchell Robinson. Do you see the X factors that make him a little bit more talented? Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you guys? Mario Hezonja. The assets are here. Luke Cornet is a great stretch forward. Okay, let's go forward. Again, opportunity wasn't there. Again, gelling, a lot of movement, and no offense, they wanted to lose. So those are key factors. Now let's get back into what happens to the Hawks, right? So all this is about is the Brooklyn Nets trying to alleviate themselves of some dollars to try to get the big two, which is KD and Kyrie Irving, right? These are the big two that you want. What if that doesn't work for the Brooklyn Nets? Where could they go? You go down, I'm looking at age. Again, these guys are getting older and older, as I am, right? I think Dwight Howard's on his last legs. Let's see, Rudy Gay, 33. Kawhi at 28. Wow, he's just hitting his prime. Isn't that scary? Porzingis is obviously signed. I don't know what the hell is going on there. He's going to sign with the Mavericks. Got Isaiah Thomas out there, okay? Derrick Rose had a good comeback year. Klay Thompson, but 31. Klay Thompson at 29. Kemba Walker at 29. I'm looking at guys under 30 as big assets. Kevin Durant is now he's a right now. Probably has 3-4 more years left for prime. But Kemba Walker, Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, right? Skip Kristoff, Kawhi Leonard. I think he's gonna stay with the Raptors, right? The way they're going. Oh, man. I'll tell you what. You guys got D'Angelo Russell's only 23 years old. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I would move him. I don't know if I'd move a 23-year-old D'Angelo Russell for Kyrie Irving. Dude, that's tough. I would play them together. Who else is out there? Brook Lopez. Okay. Jimmy Butler, 30 years old. Man, that's why he's trying to get paid quick. I understand it, Jimmy. I really feel you. That age is nothing but a number. It's bullcrap. Tobias Harris is pretty young, 27 years old. Julius Randle, only 25. Right? Jabari Parker, 24. Marc Gasol, 34 years old. Oh, man. Jesus, no wonder. Jamal Crawford. I'm just trying to look at, who are... Harrison Barnes is only 26. See, these are other guys they can possibly look at, right? Hassan Whiteside, wow, he really lost it. I mean, that window's gone for them. They need to look at reading up on this team. Bam Adebayo, maybe moving to the starter role. This Hassan Whiteside has 2-3 years left. Maybe move him if you're in rebuild mode. Going on a tangent a little bit too much. JJ, 35 years old. Okay, I'm through here. There's. I thought there's a lot more. Yeah, Ricky Rubio, Fareed, Jahlil Okafor, only 24 years old. Look at that. Again, ranting here because this is kind of what you go through. Rondé Hollis Jefferson is only 24 too. Hey, Brooklyn guys, you're getting me back a little bit. Alan Krauss older. Okay, so. With that said, there's all these different players that they can go out and get. Obviously, KD comes in and Kyrie win now, I would not let go, do anything in my power not to let go of Mr. D'Angelo Russell. Keep him. It's too young, 23 years old. What else is next? So what we have up in this market, I'm going to pause it for a second. So back to it, right? Brooklyn Nets have the opportunity. What do the Atlanta Hawks have? It's quite simply, a lot more opportunity for the future. Look at their roster. Kent Bazemore, I say, hey, bye-bye, Kent. Right? He's their highest paid guy. They have no flexibility with $35 million in cap space. We're not worried about that because they're trying to get players in to draft from the draft who are cheap, who are going to be built upon, maybe in the third or fourth year, they get some dividends paid off. So Miles Plumlee was paid pretty well. I didn't realize he was getting $12.5 million. Kent Bazemore at 30 years old, $19 million. Allen Crabbe, $18.5 million. Trae Young, Alex Len is cheap. Why wouldn't you keep Alex Len? John Collins is cheap, $2 million. Look at this line, Kevin Huerter, $2 million, cheap. Keep him. DeAndre Brembury, what can he do? Right? Can he be a Spencer Dinwiddie? Cheap, $2 million. Look at Omari Spellman, $1 million. Deontay Davis, right? Jalen Adams, and then you add on the draft picks, right? We go to the draft board, and then not only have the 8th pick and the 10th pick, now they add on the 17th pick, and then they have some more fun. They say, hey, we're not done yet. We got some more picks in the second round. 35th pick, 41st pick, 44th pick. Hey, now, you're an all-star. Hey, so it's all good for the Atlanta Hawks, right? They got all these different assets that they can go after in the draft, and I think they can play, and that's the fun of this, right? These guys can play. What I mean by that is, if there's a guy who's a risky little player, right, that you're afraid of, that you don't want to go draft, you can go ahead and get them, such as a Luka Samanic in the second round. Can you go grab that guy, the unknown, a Darius Baisley, right? These are the hit or miss type guys. Maybe a Jalen Linka, what the hell, why not type of player. I'm just throwing names out there that I think may go second round, even though that is not proven to be the case. But there's several of these guys that can just go get in the second round or stash aways. That's going to be fun for the Atlanta Hawks and makes them a strong up-and-coming team for the future. And I'm very happy to see the plays that they're making for themselves, all right? So they are center-heavy. Somebody's going to have to leave. Miles, Alex, Isaac, Dwayne Dedmon, very heavy here, very heavy. And they're thinking about drafting Mr. Bruno Fernando, right? So, that's another guy that they're talking about. So as you look at the draft real quick, bang, bang, boom, what did I do? I probably just moved off that, didn't I? It's for the 8th pick, they're probably going to go with Bobo, right? I think that's who they should go with, right? I think the Atlanta Hawks should go with Bobo. And then with the next pair of scissors left on that pitch, with the 10th pick, if they really wanted to flex it out, I think that's where you go for Bruno Fernando, right? And then you move off 3 of these guys because you're not going to need them all, right? You don't need Dwayne Dedmon, Miles Plumlee, and Alex Len. I think Dwayne, even though he had a strong year, I think Dwayne Dedmon goes. Miles Plumlee, they try to move him if they can, and then you keep Alex Len. I like his size and length. He's also developed a 3-point shot. Very interesting prospect. Deontay Davis, let's see how he comes along. You can stash him away in the G League. And maybe even Dwayne Dedmon there because he's a muscle player as well, so he can play dividends in a playoff run as some veteran help. So along with that, you see the 17th pick, and this is where I like to see Kevin Porter Jr. come back into the mix. And the reason why I mention that is by the injury that we've seen from Mr. Kevin Durant, you need to be too deep at every position. Justin Anderson has not been given the opportunity. To me, he's a star in the league. Neg me if you want. I just know talent. DeAndre Bembry is another one, right? He can be a Spencer Dinwiddie type player. Kent Bazemore, I think he needs to leave. He needs to go to a playoff team. He doesn't have time. He needs to win now. He's been a great asset for the Hawks, but hey, win now. Move him off. Kevin Porter Jr. is your guard. These guys barely play, right? Well, Bremy plays, but Anderson does not play. They have a lot of faith in Jalen Adams. I'm so on Jalen Adams. Why not bring in Kevin Porter Jr. to be the backup or the competitor to Kevin Huerter, who can also, with his size, he's going to gain some weight. He can play the small forward position. And then you lose Taurean Prince. You free that up. You move Huerter to the 3. You move Porter to the 2. You move Trey to the 1. Bobo at the 4 and Bruno Fernando at the 5. That's a nice little lineup. And I'm forgetting about the guy who should be starting. I am sorry. John Collins at the 4. And then maybe Bruno Fernando at the 5. Bobo will have a foot injury, so he'll work his way back, and we'll see what happens there. Again, a lot of different things they can do with this team. Omari Spellman is their gutter. They're all-purpose, tall, millsap, tall. A lot of talent. So it's exciting to see with the Hawks. I'm going on rants. I don't want to do that. But there's a lot of opportunity here. Second round is a crap load of opportunity too, right? So second round picks, there's so much there that they can go out and get. And I would just feed the roster. Maybe get 2 statuays and 2 guys that you bring on. Right? Will Nicholas Claxton be available? Another stretch 4, even though you need some shooting help? Because that's what I would look to. I would look for some pure shooters in the second round for this team. Cameron Johnson, guys like that probably be gone by the first round. But if you can find another 3-point shooter, that's what I would load up on. 2 of those guys. I love Eric Paschall, but I don't want him to go there because there's too many people in there. But, somebody that can shoot. The dude from McGee, the senior, played, I'm talking about if you're a basketball fan. He's somebody you should look at in that second round. That said, great trade move. I went into full detail of what I think happens with the Atlanta Hawks. A lot of options for these guys. So many prospects to get from a draft perspective. The list is endless. So they have a lot of things. They can take a lot of risk as well. I think, again, they go first round, the best available, the greatest talent. That's what you go with. Then the second round, get some short shots, some seniors that can shoot the ball, right? Maybe a couple of European stash-aways, and then you go from there. Off work, just want to get you the detail, my analysis, grades for each team. The Brooklyn Nets, that's an A-plus move, win now. And then the Atlanta Hawks, hey, A. I don't like the Taurean Prince move, but the draft picks that you have, a lot of assets, a lot of play. Trust the process. Off Work Sports, signing out. Peace.